Shh, I'm on the sound. Be quiet, please.
Lorelai trying to help the people.
Shh.
Yeah, great idea. And then Gail was asking, so when somebody objected, what happens? Like this
Greetings,
stuff will let
everyone.
him
Welcome
leave.
to Live in the Rise. We are
What
live in the
happens?
Rise. Trying to make it work. This is a picture in the background of, oh my gosh, this was maybe 20 something years ago. This picture in the background when I had my summer camp. It was called back then. So these are the children in the summer workshop. That's me right there. hmm So we have some stuff to unpack. First of all, we're going to give thanks for safe journey. That's the first thing. The first thing is to give thanks because so many things are happening out in creation, out in the world that you don't know. You're here today, gone tomorrow. So you give thanks because we have a lot to unpack in that thanks, in giving thanks. We have the verse of the day that's coming from Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23, talking about the fruit of the of righteousness that's within you. And those fruits are love, joy, joy. When you get up in the rise, you're hallelujah, you're joyful. Joy, tranquility, that means you bring a calmness to wherever you go. Forbearance. What is forbearance? That's, let's look at that word, forbearance. Bearance, A-N-C-E. Forbearance is patience, self-control, restraint, and tolerance. That is what forbearance is. So these are the fruits of righteousness. We have love, we have joy, we have tranquility, we have patience. Patience is self-control. You restrain yourself and you tolerate situations. That's forbearance. Kindness, right? Kindness, goodness. Thank you for liking the video. Faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So self-control is spoken of twice with the word forbearance as well as with itself self-control. So against these things there is no law. There's no law for love, for joy, for tranquility, for forbearance, for kindness. There's no law for that. It is what it is. And when we look at this verse today, Galatians chapter 5, 22 to 23, that's a fit. Hey, I'm on the sound. Be quiet.
Chocolate raisins.
Be quiet.
Indian giver. Selfish.
This is the example I'm talking about the fruit of righteousness. We have to seek for that. We have to seek for that. Disrespectfulness is not the fruit of righteousness. It's not. Being rude. When I'm talking, you're talking, that's rude. Stop it. Doing stuff like that is not kindness. It's not goodness. It's not faithfulness. It's not gentleness. Let's be that. If you look in this picture, there's in the background, there's a child sitting next to me. That's my son, who's here with me right now. I'm trying to tell him to be quiet while I'm doing the sound. And oftentimes it doesn't happen. It's a constant back and forth battle. So the verse today is very appropriate because these are fruits. These are fruits. You are known by your fruits. You're going to be known by your fruits. Bring your fruits love. Let your fruit be love. The world is not a loving place. That doesn't mean we have to be unloving. The world is not a joyful place. People angry. It's not a joyful place. We have to hold on.
So you crucify me all day. Have to deny me on Jesus.
We have to be holding on to joy. We cannot allow things to take it from us.
The man that
We have to hold it.
was Joseph.
So another fruit of the righteousness is tranquility. Tranquility. Having a state of a tranquil mind is the beginning of conquering anything in your life. It starts with your mind. Your mind. Hi, Average. How are you? Thanks for joining Live in the Rise. We are here with the fruit of the righteousness.
See somebody who probably
excuse
abused you. That's traumatizing.
Thank you, Average. It is the thank you. Thank you so much for joining Live in the Rise. I love that you make that comment. It's a battle every day. So what do? We have to stay on the side of kindness. You have to stay on the side of kindness and gentleness. Self-control is very important. And that's the verse for today. Chapter 5 of Galatians 22 to 23. Okay, thank you for liking the video. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being part of this Live in the Rise. It can change your life into a better place.
Yes, I get used to this.
Okay.
It's 4 days of this every morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. This is what I have to deal with.
Okay, let's go to the word of the day. The word of the day is healing. Healing. And the word today is brought to us by Mark chapter 5, verse 34.
You would think I would go to school
Your faith,
somewhere else, so we try to sleep.
Your faith has made you well. Okay? Some people are not well physically, intellectually, emotionally, socially. People are not well. But faith, having faith, okay, is going to make you well.
I felt like Sean.
So,
like I was supposed to ask.
The word today is healing. Healing. So I am healed fully and completely in righteousness. And righteousness is the fruit of righteousness is love, joy, tranquility, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So this is the word today. The verse, the word today. This is the word today. Let's get that.
I know you were doing it for spite.
It's the word of the day.
Word of the day.
It's the word
I don't even like
of the day.
And I would like tamarind
It's
to
the
begin with.
word of the day.
But Breck is the one I always like
The
tamarind.
word of the day. Word of the
Remind me of
day.
a Breck.
Word of the day.
Word of the day is healing. So how are we going to heal ourselves? How are we going to heal ourselves? That is important. Healing is important. So I am healed fully and completely in righteousness. And I cannot be moved into wrongness. Check it out.
Like, make it make sense.
I
I
embrace
didn't know you was up.
my
I
healing
think you was
journey
sleeping.
by focusing on my thoughts, on my inner strength, stepping into my power,
Just ask.
claiming new life,
Keep it dark
and
reasons to yourself,
opening my
child.
heart to transformation. As I commune with righteousness, the courage to heal, I relax and visualize righteousness is healing light, cleaning, cleansing, and healing every cell in my body. I use my indwelling righteous power to heal my physical, my emotional, my social, all the slices of the pies. I release limiting, fear-based thoughts as I affirm healing and claim fullness.
Stop watching the news.
I no longer give power to worldly conditions. I have unshakable faith in righteousness in the truth of myself as a child of the divine. This is who we are. We're children of a divine entity of goodness, right? I breathe deeply as I go within, release worry and doubt, and rest in the stillness. I welcome the healing strength of righteousness' love to unfold in my physical, my mind, and in my life. This word today, healing, is brought to us by Mark chapter 5, verse 34. Your faith has made you well. So, having doubt is not faith. Having faith is knowing that things are going to be okay and that
Mama want to escape.
you have the righteousness of the love, joy, tranquility, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. So when we talk about the healing love of righteousness, this is what that healing love is. It's kind, it's good, it's faithful, it's gentle, it's self-control, it's love, it's joy. Okay? So these are the things that are healing your body, your mind, and your life. Selah and Selah again. That was our verse today and our word today. Now I wanted to go to the Psalm today is 27. Okay? Again, we had Psalm 27 twice in this time, these days, twice. So in unpacking Psalm 27,
Do you have any dreams when you're pregnant with fire?
I'm going to unpack Psalm 27 because this is my Psalm. This is my Psalm 27. I love it because it is how many verses? 14. 7, 27, 14 verses.
It was a doubting question.
So this is what
Doubting one mother.
Psalm 27 is. And I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation inside my heart is acceptable to all the fruits of righteousness that we mentioned in Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23. So here we go. Righteousness is a light. It's a light. So when you stay in the light, you're staying in righteousness, in the good place. That is a light. It's also your future. You want to have a good future. You want to end up in a good place. You stay in that light. What is that light? Righteousness, goodness, mercy, love. All of the fruits of righteousness is what is talked about in this Psalm 27. So when righteousness is the light and that's your future, who are you going to be afraid of? Why are you afraid? When righteousness is a stronghold in your life, why should you be afraid? What are you fearing? What are you doubting? So in verse 2, when evildoers assail, let's look at what assail means. What does assail mean? Assail means to attack violently. Violently attack. So when this happens in Psalm 27, it tells us what you need to do. So when you feel you're being attacked, this is what you do. You don't be afraid. You hold steady to righteousness. Don't attack back.
Yeah, that's why I walked away.
So when evildoers assail you to eat up your flesh, when your adversaries and foes, they're the ones who are going to stumble and they're the ones who are going to fall. But when you keep digging into and attacking, you're not going to reap anything good. You're going to fall, according to Psalm 27, verse 2. You're going to fall, stumble and fall. So even though an army encamp against you, even though that happens, your heart is not going to be afraid. Though war rise against you, okay, things are happening around you, you're going to be assured. You're going to be smiling, happy, joyful. You're going to stay in a good place. You're going to be confident. You're going to be, happy and contented. So verse 4, one thing have I asked. This is what I'm asking. And I asked this 2 days ago when I was going through with my son here, being disrespectful. I asked for one thing that I'm going to seek after. This is the one thing. Everybody listening?
No, you're still talking about me.
That I may dwell in a place of righteousness.
You want me to do a live and talk about
That
you?
I may dwell in the place of goodness all the days of my life.
How about that?
Why? To gaze upon the beauty of righteousness.
Wait, if I do it, it's a problem.
And to inquire desire. Psalm 27, verse 4. Check it out. Verse 5. Guess what? I'm going to be hidden in a shelter in the day of trouble. And I'm going to be kept hidden and in a covering, right? And lifted up high upon a rock. What does that mean? That means I don't have no issues. I'm going to be away from the trouble, right? So now that that's happened, my head is lifted up above my enemies around me. So I'm not going to be there with those contentions and doubting. I am lifted up above that, and I will offer sacrifices with shouts of joy. Joy, 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 joy. What is joy? It's a fruit of the righteous. So you're offering shouts of joy. You're chanting and making melody to righteousness. You're making a joyful noise. You're not making noise. You're making a joyful noise. So listen to when I cry aloud. Greetings, El Sue. Thank you for joining live in the rise. We are live in here.
You gotta check him out.
And we're gonna answer the call. The call is to Surah Dochna. To do good. To do good. So, what have I said? What have I said? Hi, Lions time, baby. What have I said? I'm going to seek the face of righteousness. I'm going to seek the face of the righteousness of love, joy, tranquility, forbearance, kindness, goodness. There is no law. There is no law. Listen when I cry, and don't hide the face of righteousness. Turn not the servant of righteousness away in anger. Oh, that righteousness that have been my strength, right? My strength. I'm not going to be casted off or forsaken because that righteousness is a future. You hold on to that future. That's righteousness. You live it, you breathe it, you eat it, you give it. Goodness, all of the fruits of righteousness I mentioned from Galatians chapter 5, verse 22 to 23. Love, joy, tranquility, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against these things there's no law. They're just there. It's free will. It's for you to choose to receive it or leave it. But guess what? When you leave it, your life is not going to be well. It's not going to be good. So stay in the good place. So in verse 9, righteousness is not going to hide their face. Righteousness is not going to hide their face from I. You, righteousness, have been a strength. You're not going to be casted off because you're doing good. You're being respectful. So you're going to be okay. The righteousness is a salvation. Salvation is a future. So verse 10, when your parents, when your father on the earth, mother on the earth, forsake you or give you up, who's going to take you? Righteousness. So in verse 11 now, it's about teaching. As a teacher, I teach by example. Teach the ways of righteousness and lead each one of you that's watching on a righteous path, on a level path. Because you have enemies. You have enemies who don't want joy. They don't want peace. The enemies don't want kindness. They don't want goodness. They don't want faithfulness. They don't want gentleness. They don't want self-control. The enemies don't want these things. So because of the enemies, you're going to be on a level path. So verse 12, give I not up to the will of these folks. I don't want to be given up to the will of people who are not loving, not joyful, not forbearance, not kind, not good, not faithful, not gentle, not self-control. I don't want to be given up to folks like that. So because I don't want to be given up to that, it's, false witnesses have risen against the ones who are holding their love and joy. False witnesses are those who create untruths, and their narrative is not truth. So this is what the false witnesses have done. They've risen up against folks, and they breed out violence, very violent. In verse 13 now, I know.
How did you react when you said
I know
library?
that I shall look upon the goodness of righteousness. I'm going to look upon the goodness.
Librarian? How could you?
I look at my dog and I see the goodness of righteousness. I look at the sunshine. I see the goodness of righteousness. I look at the creation and the trees and the bees and the birds. I see righteousness in those things, the goodness of righteousness in the land of the living. In the land of the living. Hey, Tabs. Greetings. Thanks so much for joining Live in the Rise and liking the video. Thank you so much.
Just open a bar.
I believe, and I don't want to believe. I want to know.
Why can't you keep the library?
I know that I shall look upon the goodness of righteousness. Okay?
Does anyone about who to read?
In the land of the living.
No niggers.
Okay?
Don't read.
In the land of the living, I'm going to see. Yes, I'm going to see the goodness of righteousness. How that's gonna happen?
We don't want y'all niggas to learn.
Wait.
We want y'all niggas to drink alcohol.
Wait for righteousness.
Drop like a skunk.
Wait for righteousness. Be strong and let your heart take courage. Let your heart take courage. I love you too. And guess who loves you more? The goodness of the Lord. Yes, that righteousness loves you even more because it's perfect. It's perfect love. See you later. So wait for righteousness, okay? Wait for it, because patience is what our scriptures, those of you who are in the Bible challenge, we're in 1 Samuel. Well, yeah, 1 Samuel. And guess what? Patience is accepting a difficult situation without fussing about it or looking for it to stop. Patience is accepting a difficult situation without giving a fuss. That's what patience is. So Samuel had to learn that. He had to teach that. He had to learn patience. He was angry all the time. Samuel, well, not Samuel, but Saul. Saul was the king and he thought he couldn't do no wrong until he got a conversion and his name changed to Paul because he became a new person. And when Saul had this conversion, Saul was a type of person that was only Saul only obeyed God in easy part of the God's instruction. So when something was hard, he couldn't do it. He couldn't. So as you are becoming impatient with your life, then do some wait. Do some wait watching today. Look up these verses and meditate upon their truth. Isaiah 25 verse 9, Isaiah 30 verse 18, and Isaiah 40 verse 31. So if you're becoming impatient, read that. Read Isaiah 25 verse 9, 30 verse 18, and 40 verse 31. Read Isaiah. So you know that righteousness wants you to succeed in your work, right? And year after year you labor at the same task with no promotion in sight, right? Well, you know that righteousness wants to give you strength to win the world, right? After teaching 5th grade Sunday school. So have you discovered that righteousness timetable doesn't always make good earthly sense? It doesn't always make sense, but you have to keep pushing. You have to keep holding the fruits of righteousness in your heart. Love, joy, tranquility, forbearance, which is self-control and patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. So these are the fruits of righteousness. And when we look at 1 Samuel, this is what we're looking at. Samuel, and remember I told you about Saul. Read about Saul because he's got some issues. He was rejected as king because of these issues. And guess who was anointed? David. So when you think something's for you, it may be not. Because according to 1 Samuel, to obey is better than to sacrifice. And to heed is better than anything else. For rebellion is as the sin of divination and arrogance as the evil of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of righteousness, then he has rejected you as king. So that's what happened with Saul. He rejected the words of righteousness. He didn't have love in his heart, joy, patience. He didn't have these things. So he was rejected. Then Saul said to Samuel, I have sinned. I violated the Lord's command and your instruction. I was afraid of the men, so I gave in to them. So he had an excuse. This is why he did the wrongness. He gave in. Now I beg you, forgive my sin and come back with me so that I may worship righteousness for real now this time. But Samuel said to him, look, I will go back with you. You have rejected righteousness. You have rejected to be kind and faithful. You rejected it, right? And righteousness has rejected you as king. You can't be king. You cannot, because you don't have self-control. You don't have faith. You're not gentle. You're not kind. You don't have patience. You're being rejected. So guess what? Samuel turned away from him. But guess what Saul did? Saul caught hold of the hem
I was
of
the
his
one that got
robe
cut.
and tore it. Samuel said to
Put up
him,
the glass. And that
Samuel
happened to
said
me
to
again,
him,
like judgment.
righteousness has torn the kingdom of such places from you today and has given it to one of your neighbors, to one better than you. He who is the glory of this place does not rest or change his mind. He is not a human being that he should change his mind. Saul replied, I have sinned, but please honor me before the elders of my people and come, so that I may worship righteousness. So Samuel went back with Saul, and Saul worshiped righteousness. Then Saul said, bring these things. As your sword has made women childless, so will your mother be childless among women. So Saul got conversion and his name changed to Paul. Just like Abram, his name was Abram, but when he did show a conversion that his son was not more to him than the Most High, he would sacrifice his son for the Most High, his name changed to Abraham because it was in his heart that he got that conversion. It wasn't for show, like he wasn't doing this for show, it was in his heart. So when we see stuff like that happening, people have this conversion from doing wrong into doing good. They have a name change. They have a change in their life. So Samuel now anoints David, okay, because Saul wasn't stepping up to the plate. So Samuel anoints David, and David was a young boy. He was a young shepherd boy. Remember the story David and Goliath, right? Where he slew Goliath, this big giant. So for today, we're in the book of 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 19. So those of you who are in the Bible challenge for me for the whole year, that's where we are right now. We're in this part where David is the secret king elect. Check it out. So when Saul is losing favor with God, Saul lost favor with God because he's just out of pocket. The shepherd boy David is being secretly anointed by Samuel as Saul's replacement. From this moment on, the lives of Saul and David will be intricately intertwined because Saul goes out to kill David, and he couldn't. Let me tell you, in the middle of the night, Saul, that's why there's a psalm that David wrote about this. They're trying to secretly get rid of him. So Saul and David have this situation going on. So because of his skill as a musician, David is selected to play for King Saul because David was a percussionist. He was a musician. So he was selected to play for King Saul and soothe his troubled mind. Next, David becomes a national hero by challenging and killing Goliath, the Philistine giant whom Saul himself actually should have fought, but Saul couldn't fight him. Saul was like, I ain't doing it. David did it though. He was a young little boy. So clearly, God is with David, right? An observation that drives Saul into a jealous frenzy and puts David's life in jeopardy. So because the righteousness, right, picked David, because David was doing right. Right gonna be right. Right gonna pick right. David was doing the right thing. So David, and guess what happened to Saul? Saul was in a jealous frenzy and put David's life in jeopardy. He's like, I'm coming to get you, dude. So David, the king elect, okay, David the musician, David the fighter, and David the fugitive. He's on the run. So most of us don't put our best foot forward. Some of us don't. I'm not talking about anyone out here, in here, nowhere. I'm talking in general. Some of us don't put our best foot forward until 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 we get the other one in hot water. Okay? So most of us don't put our best foot forward until we get the other foot in hot water. Then we take it out and put it forward. So David's qualifications, thank you so much. Thank you so much. David's qualifications, as stated by one of Saul's own servants, were impeccable. David was like thebomb.com. He was good looking, a fine musician, a skilled warrior. He was a quick learner, and the righteousness was with him. Everything that a king needed for success, David had it. Little wonder that Saul grew jealous. So, this is what we're reading for this day on the 19th of March. We're in the book of 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel chapter 17 is the story of David and Goliath. Read it. Chapter 18, Saul's growing fear of David. And then in chapter 19, Saul tries to kill David. Okay? This is what Saul tries to do. But guess what? Who righteousness bless, no one can curse. So you're good if you're good. So that is our scripture for today. 1 Samuel chapter 17. Please read it. This is our scripture for today. And then for the 19th day, for daily communication to righteousness for women, let's see what we got. We got, let me be humble. I love it. Let me be humble. So this is our daily communication to righteousness for women. Let me be humble is brought to us by Matthew chapter 23, verse 12. Whoever exalts himself will be humble. Like when you when you push up yourself and when you try to puff up yourself, you're going to be humble down. And whoever humbles himself will be exalted. Okay? So this is Matthew chapter 23, verse 12. So humble yourself. Humble. Sometimes it's not okay to speak. Just be silent. Humble. So this is the communication to righteousness for women. Most high righteousness, grant I and I humility so that I don't put myself above others. Everyone has their own weaknesses. I am not better than someone else because I don't share the same weaknesses. Help me, strengthen me not to judge others, and let me show others the love of righteousness instead. Selah and Selah again. So instead of judging others, show others love. Show others joy. Show others tranquility. Show others forbearance. Show others kindness. Show others goodness. Show others faithfulness. Show others gentleness. And show others self-control. This is what you do instead of judging others. People are people. They're not perfect. We are not here to judge them. We are here to show them love. That's it. That's it. Is to show love. That's it.
Don't judge me then.
Selah and Selah again. I ask that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart is acceptable in the sight of what is righteous, what is kind, and what is loving. Selah.
Selah. My turn.
Everyone have a blessed day. Thank you for liking the video. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for liking the video. Thanks for tuning in. We are live in the rise. Thank you so much. Let's walk in the light, in the righteousness of goodness. Have a blessed day. Take good care, everyone. Remember, stand in love. Don't fall in it. Stand in it. Don't fall in it. Okay? Take good care. Have a blessed day, everyone. Take good care. I'm going to stay strong. Thank you. I'm dealing with a lot, but I'm going to stay strong. Have a blessed day. Mwah.